Hey, what's up, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY. Another little update on the 1978 Datsun 280Z. Not a whole lot done since last video, but we did get the transmission back in. Here's this block of wood. When I told you guys about making sure you keep the engine propped up if you don't have the transmission on, because the engine's like very heavily weighted towards the rear of the engine, so the engine will do like a full like 180 and do a somersault out of the car if you don't keep it propped up with a piece of wood. So right now though, we actually have the transmission bolted back on, and it's just loosely bolted in, but everything went in pretty good. It was a very big struggle because this lift, with it being in a smaller garage, I can only get it up to about, I don't know, 4.5 feet, or up to about this notch here, which is like less than shoulder height. And so the really downside with that is if you go to lift a transmission in because you don't have a transmission jack, it's very hard to do. So it was just a buddy and me, and we were able to get it in, but it was like painful. So I don't suggest it. But transmission's back in. We'll do the drive shaft soon. You can see we have some intercooler tubing going, and I did figure out some more stuff as far as the Godzilla Works go. If you don't know, Godzilla Works is the one making the $1,300 wiring harness that'll be plug and play, and it's designed for this turbo engine basically to do this swap or other swaps similar. We also have the aluminum radiator kind of mounted in just to get an idea of where everything's going. Cheap eBay intercooler that really fits pretty well if you're going to be using like the stock holes that are in the actual radiator support here. So you can see we have this 90-degree elbow going around the side here. I'm not a fan of this. You see how it's kind of crooked. That obviously, we're gonna have to do something about that because this does not look right. In theory, though, once this is on here, that should be straight, and so that shouldn't look too bad at all. I am going with an electric fan. That is another thing I also do is the electric fans on here. I'll see if I can get a better angle so you guys can kind of see that. So yeah, we have a 16-inch electric fan. 16 inch does not quite cover the whole radiator. That's about the biggest size you can get. It's supposed to move a ton of CFM, so hopefully that should be enough to kind of keep the engine cool and keep the the radiator nice and cool as far as the antifreeze goes. So I decided I'm going to have this tube right here just go straight into the intake, and then this one over here is going to be the one that actually is like the charge pipe for the turbo coming off over there. So another thing I did figure out from last time's video that I said I wasn't sure of, I talked to Godzilla Works, and we're not going to have to use that turbo AFM, so I'm glad I bought that. But that's all good though, we can just resell that, it's not a big deal. But with the Godzilla Works, as far as I know, we'll actually be able to use this guy here. I believe this comes off, or it somehow integrates with this, and then it's going to basically be like a throttle body position sensor rather than the airflow meter. So that'll be really nice because I was really worried about this giant guy down here. The AFM would normally go up here or under here, and as you can see, there's just no room down here for that to go because we also need to have this hooked up to over here. So kind of give you guys an idea of the routing. This is the last thing I need to hook up for basically the full turbo loop here. The biggest thing was just trying to figure out where the heck I was going to put the AFM if that was going to be going straight over there, but we don't need to worry about that now. So I'm probably going to take this off, this like stock bellow, which let me grab the light so you guys can actually see this, just in case you're interested or doing a similar swap, just to kind of give you an idea on what I'm doing personally. So I'll probably take this stock bellow off, it's a pretty thick, pretty good inner diameter. I think it's probably about 3 inch, maybe 3.5. It's definitely bigger than this. This is 2.5 inch, so it's definitely bigger than that. And I'm gonna take that off probably and have it come into some solid tubing. I just don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. I mean, I could technically run it like down here somewhere. It's just if I ever drive over water or anything, the last thing I want to do is waterlog my engine. But I don't know. We'll find somewhere to run it. I'm sure. It'd be nice if we can get it to the front up here somewhere, like in this area, because obviously that's where you're gonna get the coldest air and everything, and not have to worry about a bunch of crap from the road, gunking up the air filter. But worst case scenario, we'll run it somewhere close to this area down here. Won't be the end of the world if we just have to use like a Canon filter and just have a really short intake. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this. Like I said, I'll have to figure out what to do about the PCV stuff. I mean, I could technically block it off, but if the engine's not burning oil or anything, I'm really not worried about not having PCV stuff. So I don't know, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we got the turbo opening right here to output that boost, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, just another short little update. Transmission's in, pretty much ready to go. Just gotta bolt everything down. The engine's looking good, so I'm really happy about that. We got the stock charge pipe off and everything. That was like really sucky because that was hitting right against there. You can actually see where it kind of nicked there and everything. Getting it in was a huge hassle. I highly recommend taking that off before you put that in. But yeah, everything's going pretty good with it. So we hope you guys enjoyed this little update, and I will keep at it.